My name is Nadir Ammour. I am working at Sanofi in clinical operations, and I am belonging to a team who is responsible to bring innovations in the way we execute clinical studies, leveraging the advancement of different methods and tools and technologies. Health data are really important for a company that is developing drugs. I mean, we've been up to now collecting data through our clinical studies. So essentially, we acquire those data running studies. But since a few years now, there is a data that is viable on its own, that is collected through healthcare. And that also represents another dimension of value for when we develop drugs or we try to understand disease, or simply we kind of improve the efficiencies of clinical trials. So IHD has been, I think, an important output from the IMI EHR4CR foundational project. And we needed an organization that is sitting in between the clinical research world from pharma, but also the healthcare research world, actually. And I think IHD has nicely connected those two worlds, and we see that that organization is bringing a mutual understanding of the challenges in the respective worlds and connecting those two worlds so that we can work better together in addressing the value of bringing innovative treatments cheaper and faster to patients. IHD is launching the data quality services, and I think that's a recognition from the early experiences that we had now since a few years in using electronic health record for research, that although the data is there, there's a question of quality of the data. And there is a dimension of understanding what is the gap in quality and what can we do about that? What are the appropriate interventions? So I think the IHD could nicely help us and help everyone in that space to, number one, establish methods to assess the level of quality. And from there, what would be the appropriate interventions that could address the data that has higher value as opposed to addressing every type of data. And I think the IHD has the knowledge, the expertise, and the connections to help the community that are using health data in this area and improve the quality and improve eventually the trust that we have in the data. IHD is a multi-stakeholder organization, and that's an important point. Why? Because today research is being conducted in silos. I mean, pharma companies are working on their own, researchers from academia are working on their own, but eventually we all use the same infrastructure, which is data. Yeah. And I think we need to bring all those stakeholders together so that we all collectively agree on what are the right methods and what are the right ways to use that. I mean, from an ethical perspective, from a data privacy perspective, but also from a scientific perspective, from a methods perspective. And I think that's where this organization, the IHD, can, again, facilitate this dialogue and this collaborative effort. I think where the IHD could play a role in the coming weeks or months or years is to help everyone understand what is the landscape, who is doing what are the activities or initiatives that are adjacent, potentially competing to each other's, or potentially that could bring together much more value, actually. I think we need to really make sure that we are not wasting time and effort and resources in duplicating effort across the landscape of those people and organizations who are trying to leverage health data. I think that's where the IHD could help us with as the next agenda in the future.